What's up, Mythguardians? Leaf Daniel here. We've got a bunch of new cards spoiled this week and a little teaser on Reddit that we'll get a bunch more shortly. I'll give my star ratings at the end if you don't have time to hear all my thoughts on each individual card. Let's go. First up, we have Ruby Raider, a 2-mana rare minion which costs 2 red gems, has 3 attack and 2 health. Forge, Rush, and Breach deal 1 damage to all other minions. I think this is supposed to be Minotaur grown up, since if you look on her uniform, you can see the same pink bow. When forged, it's amazing, as it power creeps daring trapezist, but since it's rare, forging it is kind of unlikely. I still think it's a very powerful card unforged, though. It has stats that are on curve and a beneficial breach effect that demands blocking. You could play it in an Orpheum of Horrors deck with cards that have synergy with symmetric chip damage like that. Solid card. Alright, second in line we have Hyperfit Ultra Gem, a 2-mana 1 yellow gem common enchantment. Occupying minion has +0/+2 and focused 1. Focused can easily be circumvented by placement, so this is basically 2 mana give +2 stats. Compare that to other options like Cairnhenge and Ruslan's Bite, which essentially give 2 stats for 1 mana, and this looks bad. However, I think it's at least a little bit salvageable, since yellow likes health more than other colors do. With new and old tools to snowball like Golden Axolotl, Doper, and Helm of Conscription, this enchantment could be useful. It could also synergize well with Colosseum of Strife, but I think the Cairnhenge ceiling still definitely applies, so this card is definitely not overpowered or anything. Home Field Advantage. Another enchantment, 3 mana, 1 green gem uncommon enchantment. Occupying and adjacent minions have +1/+1. Again, that Cairnhenge comparison is apt. It's kind of like 3 Cairnhenges all bundled into 1, which saves you card advantage. Another way to look at this card in an optimistic light is that it confers the same amount of stat boost as Giant Stairway, but for 3 mana instead of 5. The cost, however, is that you've got to put your minions together, which is difficult for most decks to do. The decks that will love this most are those with token cards that automatically put minions together, like Guardian Plateau and Triennial Patrol. Also, canine decks very naturally clump their minions together, and you can even see in the card art that this card is probably intended for use with canines. Next up, we've got Beacon Banner, a 3 mana 1 orange gem common artifact with 11 durability, has stacking, and at the end of turn, if your minions have made 3 or more attacks, all your minions get +2/+0. Definitely intended for some kind of token deck, I think. You swing with a bunch of zealots or serpents or something, and then everything gets beefed up. And your tokens don't have to survive the trade. You can play new minions after attacking, and they'll still get the buff at the end of your turn. That said, you do have to have an established enough board to attack 3 times, which is difficult. So even with the stacking and the potentially huge buffs, I think this card is good but fair. Alright, crazy art on this one. Profane Locust. 2 mana, 1 purple gem, rare enchantment, spirit enchantment. Once per turn before combat, move to a friendly, unenchanted lane that is being attacked. Minions attacking through this lane get ephemeral until the start of their next turn. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this enchantment hasn't moved, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. This enchantment is really odd. It reminds me a lot of Spirit Stones. It can certainly disrupt Boneyard-based decks and combo decks, but I don't know if that's enough for it to stand on its own. It synergizes with Deported, but there aren't that many other cards yet that can take advantage of when opponents' minions become ephemeral. I'd be very excited to see new synergies with that type of effect, but until such synergies are released, I'm going to have to say that this is a bad card. Lastly, we have the beautiful Borealis Bridge. 6 mana, 3 blue gems, mythic enchantment, with, while occupied, all your minions have +2/+0 and teleport. Yet another card supporting wide boards, but this one has a teleportation aspect as well. I think it's quite limited by the fact that it requires 3 blue gems. A lot of decks that are really invested in blue will already be running Bridgeway Troll, and a lot of the decks that like that wide attack boost aren't blue. However, I could see this being superior in a deck that wants to focus more on enchantments or would benefit from the attack buff. Perhaps especially aggressive decks will like this card most. I also think this will work very well with Swift Minions or Fosgrim, since you won't have to use up your action to teleport. I think it probably will see competitive play, but won't be a staple in any deck that it appears in. Now I'll get to my star ratings. Ruby Raider is a 4-star card. Hyperfit Ultra Gym is a 2-star card. Home Field Advantage is a 4-star card. Beacon Banner is a 3-star card. Profane Locust is a 1-star card. And Borealis Bridge is a 3-star card. Let me know if you agree with my assessment in the comments, and thanks for watching.